you guys and welcome to yet another exciting episode of your favorite show, Teen Gospel Live, where we take you guys on a journey of music, games, and some roundtable talk.
Yes, guys, we have an amazing journey for you, so stay tuned and don't touch that dial.
Now, Lindo, today's topic is homeschooling. We've seen so much pressure, peer pressure, and bullying on social media that comes from traditional private and public schools that a lot of us are considering actually going to homeschooling. So today we ask the question, is homeschooling a viable option, or should we just stick it out and go to private and public school?
So obviously you guys will be having questions, comments about today's topic. Write to us on our social platforms using the hashtag TGL on SID.
That's right, Lindo. Now, to answer our questions about homeschooling, we have Usisi and Palesa who actually deal with homeschooling. And then on our menu, we have some music from Kalina, Liana, and Josh. And of course, we would not leave you food lovers out. We have Chef Fana with us in the kitchen, and he's going to be preparing an awesome meal for you guys.
So the question for today is homeschooling a viable option, since people are transitioning from private and public traditional schooling to homeschooling?
Yeah, guys, so we want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about homeschooling? Keep these conversations going on our social media channels. Right now though, it is time for us to start our show, and we're going to start our show with a bang, with a musical performance from Kalina. Take it away. Thank you so much to Kalina. What an inspirational song. We're definitely going to be having a conversation about it later. Now, guys, traditional public and private school have seen such an increase in assault cases of students and in bullying that parents are now afraid to send their kids to school, and even teenagers fear for their lives when they go to school. Let's check out this insert.
So the girl we've just seen on the screen, her name is Ulufono, and she was bullied at school, right? And there was a video circulating on social media when all of that happened. So she found out about the video. Unfortunately, she resorted to suicide. And that is the sad reality we have to face on not really on a daily, but we can also say on a daily, because not everyone comes out about it, but it's a daily thing.
Yeah.
So the question for today is homeschooling a viable option?
Yeah, guys, so a lot of teens have been wanting to go to homeschooling, and to tell us a little bit more about homeschooling so we can just get an understanding of it is Usis Palesa. Welcome to Teen Gospel Live,
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Then can you please just outline what homeschooling is, what are the pros and what are the cons of homeschooling?
Okay. All right, so homeschooling, it's really, the name is basically what it is about. So it tells us about education that takes place in the home. So how is it different from the traditional setup? Is that traditionally parents send their kids to school, they have teachers, they have a set curriculum, and they basically have learning at a different place. But homeschooling is about bringing in the learning experience in the home. And who's in charge of that? The parents. Yeah.
So as a parent yourself, and we were let known that you do homeschooling yourself,
Yes.
right? What were the reasons that you decided to choose homeschooling?
There are plenty of reasons why any parent would choose homeschooling. For one, it definitely is a bit cheaper than the traditional school if your child is going to a private, you know. And I'd say that you get to decide what kind of information your child gets. So there are different types of curriculums you can follow, you know, or you can even choose not to follow a curriculum. Homeschooling is about educating the child about things that will prepare them for the future,
Yes.
you know, both spiritually, mentally, physically. And it just helps you as a parent to have that peace of mind about knowing what is happening to your child all the time because they're under your care, or the care of people that are family and aunties and so forth.
So since you have control of how the day goes, or you know, can you take us quickly through your daily routine?
Okay. So in our home particularly, we subscribe to both traditional, not really traditional, I'll say we use a set syllabus, but at the same time we like to keep it flexible.
Yes.
So a set syllabus will say a child needs to sit down from 8 o'clock till 1 and do their schoolwork, writing, reading, all that stuff. But in our home, I don't set a time for everything. We'll complete a task. If we have English task, we'll do that first. When we're done with our English task, then we will do some maths. And after doing some maths, then it's playtime. So I don't really say, do this for 5 minutes, do that for 30 minutes. The child will obviously know how long it takes them to complete a task,
Yes.
you know. And then children learn differently. And what I try to do is make sure that they learn kinesthetically, orally, visually. Like we use a lot of YouTube in our homeschooling because I don't personally know everything, you know what I mean? So we use a lot of YouTube videos to stimulate their visual learning. We use experiments to build that kinesthetic type of learning,
Yes.
you know, using your hands practically. And also the auditory way of reading to a child and listening to music and so forth. So there are different things that we do. And we don't have a set schedule per se.
Okay, so I want to know, earlier you touched on the curriculum, like when it comes to kids socializing, because I mean, they're at home. And I know with traditional school, I enjoy the sports and extracurriculars. How is that with homeschooling? Like, how do you manage to get kids to socialize with other kids because they spend most of the time at home?
Yeah, so my children, obviously, we stay in a complex, right? A gated community. So most of the time their friends will be at school while they're at home. So that is when we do our practical work. But as soon as their friends come over, they have access to them and stuff like that. And you can also enroll your kids into extramural activities whereby they can go play sports, you know, they can go into running, they can do swimming. So the child is not always just sitting in the house reading a book. Yes.
And since obviously children are different and there's difficulties or whatever, like challenges you may face, what challenges have you faced so far?
I am a businesswoman and I'm also a homeschooling mom. So, and I'm also a wife, you know, so I have to juggle all of those things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets exhausting because you're constantly working. So I attend to my kids first, and then I attend to whatever it is I need to in the home, cooking, cleaning, which they help me with because it's part of their learning.
Homeschooling.
Yes, it's part of their learning. And then later on I do my work. Luckily, I work from home, so I'm
So
able
it's
to.
quite simple.
Yeah, it works out for me.
Yeah,
So,
I'm so glad that it works out for you. One might say that people choose to do homeschooling because, like you said, you can better teach your kids. So do you think it's better to homeschooling makes it easier to teach your child Christian values as opposed to traditional school?
Definitely. We all know that praying in a school setup is no longer regarded as something that is good and that should be practiced simply because we're accommodating people of other faiths. But where does that leave me as a parent who is a Christian and who wants to instill those values? If my child goes to school for half the day, what are they learning? So homeschooling is a great catalyst for them learning the values that I want them to learn, you know? And it's my responsibility that I take out children who are going to be useful in the community, that are going to represent Christ in whatever way they possibly can, through their talents and through their skills.
Thank you so much, Sis Palesa, for
Thank
sharing like insightful information about homeschooling, because we really do like need
to know more
keep
about
our options open, right? So viewers at home, don't forget to send us your questions about homeschooling, because we still have Sis Palesa in the building to answer your questions. After this, we are going to have Ushafana prepare something delicious there by the kitchen. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. We are back with your favorite youth show, Teen Gospel Live. As you guys know, music plays a very important role in our lives. So we have a friend of ours who's prepared a little something with his talent. Let's hear what they have to say. Let's go.
Dumelang bo botlhe, leina la ka ke Nambali Mthweni. Ke belegetswe ko Mamelodi East. Ke dlala violin. Ke decidile hore ke dlale this instrument because of ke rata music. I started by ke thomile ao practice the strings and learning theory. Here fitla ko rehearsal, re thoma ka warm up. Then after warming up, re thoma ba fa dipina. After fetsa ba re fa dipina, they check us hore we still remember them now. Ke performile ko Unisa and it was cool. Instrument in thusa ka hore in keep her busy every day ore ke ska phila ke le mo strateng. Like kontlong ya ko hae, like kuna le sesi abuti, so ne ba rato rasa le little brother ne ba rato rasa, so ne ke ba emela pele for ba robale and then ne ke khone because he protects me every time. Who wants to play the violin? Go with the violin. It helps your mind through Likodikolo. Thank you for joining me. Now I need to go for a rehearsal. Bye.
Thank you so much to our friend for submitting his video. It is beautiful to see young people work consistently at their talents. Now, the parable of the talents in the Bible tells us that we're put here on earth to work. Hence, we as Teen Gospel Life are bringing you guys TGL's Got Talents. Now, I'm talking arts, drama, music, dance, poetry, the works, you name it, or we have it. All you guys can do to be a part of Teen Gospel Life Got Talents is submit your videos to us on our WhatsApp line on the number on your screen, and you can stand a chance to win an awesome Teen Gospel Life Got Talent prize. Now, Teen Gospel Life is for our 13 to 18-year-olds, so make sure you guys start sending your videos. Remember, God rewards those who work consistently to better their lives and the lives of their community. Welcome back back to your favorite teen Christian magazine show, Teen Gospel Live. Now, Isaiah 1 verse 19 says, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good things of the land. We have Chef Bangani with us from the Eastland Pizza Grill, and he is going to tell us what good things of the land he has for us.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, before we start, you know that we're going through a very serious pandemic. So can you just please sanitize our hands? Let's start off with you first, ladies first.
Thank you, Chef.
There you go.
Thank you.
So guys, it is important to sanitize. Now, Chef, please tell us, what have you prepared for us and what are we going to be doing today?
All right, guys, today is something very, very simple. We have a seeded sandwich, which is basically lettuce, tomato, avocado, and boiled eggs. It is one of the easiest and most tastiest sandwiches you'll ever make in under a minute.
Okay, can I have 60 seconds? Okay, guys, you can start unwrapping your sandwiches. Go! So, Chef, I want to know, what are the benefits of these ingredients while they're preparing them?
All right, so we're using a seeded bread, which is good for your digestive system. It keeps you regular, it keeps you flowing. We have the lettuce, which greens are always good for you. We have tomato, which is good for your skin. Avo, and then we have eggs, which is good for protein for those of us who don't eat meat.
Who don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know, Chef. I think our time is up, guys. Are you guys done?
Come on.
Our time is up.
There's no way.
Our time is up. Chef, please grade the dishes.
Alright.
Everybody step away.
How?
Linda, step away.
How?
Linda, stop. Linda, stop. Chef, you can
No cheating.
You guys, Chef, are you gonna start ladies first? And then
I
you're
don't
just
know which
gonna
one is
tell us.
safest.
Okay,
All right.
guys, I'm gonna unwrap the chef's dish so we can just compare. Just see and compare. Wow. Okay, so this is the chef's dish. And then this is Palesa. And Linda, please show us your dish.
No.
All right. So firstly, I'm looking for a bit of creativity. I'm looking for a bit of flavor, a bit of seasoning. If rough, judgment, I'd say for creativity, I give it to Sis Palesa on this side. However, that's for creativity. I still have to taste.
Okay.
I don't see you adding any seasoning. So, we have a bit of seasoning this side. So,
Let's see, Chef. Taste
let's taste and
away.
see.
Tomatoes are
All right,
flavorful
but taste
on
now.
themselves.
Yes, you can taste.
Okay.
Chef, I definitely think Sis Palesa is going to win because, I mean, girls
I finished
run
my
the world.
sandwich.
Exactly, and you didn't cheat. Linda cheated.
How? A minute.
Okay.
Guys.
Okay, Linda cheated.
Okay, Linda, the problem is the ingredients are missing on the bread.
Chef.
The whole purpose is to have the
Who is
ingredients
the
in the
winner?
sandwich. So before even tasting, unfortunately, Linda, you did not win this challenge.
Okay.
Sorry.
I did say, Linda, that's what you get for cheating. So
But
please
bruh,
spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, you have to do.
Good luck.
I hope it lands on lemon juice. Spin the wheel. I hope
cream. Don't be scared to spin
I
it.
hope it
Cream, I hope
lands
it's
on
not
lemon
cream.
juice. I definitely hope.
I have lactose oatmeal cream for you.
It's not
Is it
cream.
biscuits? Is it lemon juice? I think it's tomato juice. It looks like tomato
It could be.
juice. It looks like marshmallows.
Lemon
What is it?
juice.
Peanut butter. It's lemon juice. So Linda,
So Linda,
I'm
just for you, I prepared a
gonna-
lemon juice. There's more lemon than there is anything else in there. So
Here.
good luck and God bless.
I'll take
Linda,
my L. It's
You
cool.
take your arm.
Do I have to finish
Yes,
it?
you have to
Finish
finish it in
all
60
of
seconds.
It. All of it.
Drink.
Oh, beautiful. Now, Linda, I'm sure that was probably bitter, so I'm just gonna give you an opportunity to drink some water, make sure all that lemon is gone, and then we'll see you in the live chat.
I have to say that lemon juice was very tasty, even though other people felt like it was bitter, but I liked it, so it doesn't really matter because it's all about me now, so it's cool. It's that part again where we have to hear what our TGL family had to say on our social platforms, answering the question, is homeschool a viable option? Here's what you had to say. Sichaba Mutia said, it's really dependent on the ability of the parents to take care of the children on a homeschooling basis. If their parents work a 9 to 5, even from home, then no, it really isn't a viable option. Mzwandile Semenya said, whether or not homeschooling is a good idea is a debate that has been going on for many years. There are people standing on either side of the argument, fiercely defending the positions and are dead set in their ways. Unfortunately, the answer is not that simple. Anele Mtingi says, homeschooling is a better option for people who have internet connection, those personal spaces, and most importantly, self-control. Most teenagers don't cope with homeschooling as they often get emotional breakdown or feel overwhelmed by the workload. Homeschooling has a few advantages as you can work at your own pace and you can get more time to study as you don't come back from school exhausted. But at the end of the day, it depends with the person's preference. The last one says, and it is from Umfundo Nhlapo, teenagers need a social life as to help them grow in all aspects. Thank you guys for sending in your comments. Don't forget to keep on sending comments, questions, whenever you have them. Don't forget to use the hashtag TGL on SID Media.
As Teen Gospel Live, our plan is to always bring you guys fresh and exciting music, and I definitely think we have delivered. Joining us today in studio is Kalina, Liana, and Joshua. Guys, welcome to Teen Gospel Live, and thank you so much for joining us.
So we prepared a few questions for you guys about your music, right? So the first question goes to Liana, right? Do you prefer homeschooling or private or public schooling?
I personally don't mind any of them. Both have their pros and their cons. And my brother is more into homeschooling because he can finish school earlier. But I also like public school or just normal school because you get to have friends. But both of them have their pros and their cons.
Okay.
Definitely, everything has its pros and cons, but I think I'm leaning more towards Josh with the finishing school early. Now, Kalina, I know you sing gospel. Can you please just tell us why do you sing gospel and what inspired you? What inspired you? Like, who are some of your inspirations that sing gospel?
I sing gospel because, first of all, I like spiritual music, and they always tell us about Jesus. I really love the heritage singers. They are my role model.
So Josh, with the song you're about to perform, what made you choose that song?
Oh, well, it was like the only one we didn't record yet. And it was the latest one that we learned.
So it was their latest song, and Kalina chooses gospel music because it tells us more about Jesus, which is the purpose of our show. So Kalina, can you please tell us, how do we use gospel music to inspire some of our peers and encourage them?
We can reach out to our peers when we're singing publicly, or we can share our gospel songs on Facebook or on YouTube so that we can talk about Jesus through our songs.
Psalms 95 verses 1 says, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation." Thank you guys for the wonderful interview. Owami?
Yes, guys, we have unfortunately reached the end of today's show. Now, Deuteronomy 6 verse 5 to 9 tells us that it is the parents' job to teach their children. And going back to today's topic, Palesa mentioned something that I think was very important, which is that homeschooling allows her to instill Christian values in her children that traditional school otherwise would not instill. And it also gives her the opportunity to be able to spend time with them while giving them the same or more quality of education than they would get at traditional school without the rigorous schedule. Let us know what you guys think about today's topic on our social media platforms, and that's how we end your favorite teen Christian gospel show.
I mean, it was a beautiful show. We'd like to thank all our guests for the music, for the interviews, sharing knowledge about today's topic, which was homeschooling. Right now, we're about to get a musical item from Leanna and Josh. Hope you enjoy it. Right now, it's goodbye from Mawami, Lindo, Saligash.